Welcome to Channel 1 ITV's In the Grand Scheme of Things, where we talk about life, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Devin at Channel 1 ITV on Twitter.
I'm Sam at Alfred75 on Twitter.
I'm Lee at Bombay Gunrunner on Twitter.
Red Rum.
I'm Dustin at Brat77 on Twitter and Instagram now.
I'm
Instagram.
Aaron at Aaron Grant on Twitter.
Are you on Instagram? You're not.
Yes, I am.
you
Aaron
are.
Grant 75 on Twitter. Instagram.
BGR Pichu on Instagram. I think.
Remember, you could just post a picture on Twitter, and now you've got to go to Instagram to get it on
See,
Twitter to
that
get on
sucks.
Facebook.
I hate that.
Remember
they
when you took a
canceled all
picture and
that.
you took it off to the store to get developed, and just 6 months later you had a damn picture in your hand?
And when you could
Yeah.
get it done in an hour, you thought that was hot shit right there. Yeah.
And you couldn't take any nude photos because they would not develop the nude photos. Isn't that right?
But now you got nude photos all
I
over the
never
internet.
encountered that. I just thought it was out of embarrassment that I didn't
No.
know there was a law. You know?
We just thought it was general shame, Mr. that you didn't.
Apparently, there was a policy.
Let's see what I am on the Instagram.
Well,
I
we
don't
decided this is our
know.
winter.
I'm Bombay Gunrunner on Instagram.
All
How
right.
about that? Am I following you?
I don't know.
This is our winter premiere.
Yeah.
No, it was mid-season.
It's our Agent Carter winter premiere.
That's right.
We were not canceled.
No,
We were on hiatus.
we were
Yeah.
busy.
Football
Jeez.
starts
Yes.
up, holidays, all kinds.
Relatives.
You know, Sam's a
None
big
of us-
football fan.
None of us have been sick, thankfully. So it's not
Certainly
like we
sick
were out
enough
because
to
we were
really affect us.
right.
No, the last time I was sick was back in October.
I tend to disregard illness.
Yeah.
Devin
Nobody's got
tends-
time for that.
Devin tends to get sick during the off-peak hours. He tends to get sick when everybody else is not sick.
It's
And-
very
Exactly.
convenient, actually.
right. He gets like the Asiatic flu
when
in,
everybody's healthy and fine.
the summer when everybody's out. In the
My
pool.
niece
Beats the
had
rush.
the croup.
Your knees.
Ooh, the creep.
Niece.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got to touch the croup
That's
myself.
pretty old school, isn't it?
that is old school.
That's like the Little House on the Prairie.
I know.
That's like getting the measles or something, or what was it, mumps that was going around at
Months came
yeah.
back and
at Disneyland? It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks,
It's the
Jenny
diesel.
Carter.
That's a bizarre.
This is what
story.
happens when you take medical advice from former MTV
And
You know.
Playboy models.
and Playboy models.
When you have a degree in stripping, I'm not sure I want to take my medical advice.
See, and to be honest with you about that, we're talking about Jenny McCarthy and
She
her,
could check my
right.
temperature.
and her railing against vaccinations. And I never paid any attention to her because, again, we're talking about Jenny McCarthy giving out medical advice. Medical advice about not immunizing your children against fatal diseases.
right.
And it turns out, and this was just not too long ago that I actually found out that her whole platform was based around a paper that a doctor put out that he completely fabricated.
Really?
Asshole.
Yeah.
And it was all due to her child's autism.
Yes,
That's why
exactly.
She was against
So
vaccination.
did she take
Now-
it back, or did she say whoops?
Well, she said whoops. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't trust
Did
her.
she
It's
kind of say
her
whoops?
right.
I just figured she
Yeah.
you know pulled a Republican move. You just disregard it. They
Now-
found it
I
out,
just,
but
I
you
don't
disregard
remember.
Was this doctor's name either Dr. Scholes or Dr. Pepper?
it. Or Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Dr.
No.
Wells.
Dr. Shitbat. If Snooki told me smoking was healthy, I'd
Dr.
pick up
Giggles.
smoking.
Speaking of health, I went on a rant today about the Coca-Cola. There's
For your health.
the cans. You've heard about that? They're
Oh,
going
no.
to shrink the cans of Coca-Cola. It's not going to be like the kind that you get in a hospital, small, but almost the size.
Don't they already have those out?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're
Lee-
going to
Lee
spread.
got
They're
some one time.
going to sell more of them, and they said that it
At the same price.
for health. No, they're going to
So-
jack up the price. It costs
What?
more
Yeah, because it costs
What?
more. Yeah, it costs more to make more containers.
Yeah.
per ounce.
You know,
to
Wow.
drink this shit.
Yeah.
Technically,
But-
it's cheaper to
Oh,
buy
so-
buy a tanker truck of Coca-Cola
Yeah.
than it is to buy a tanker truck's worth in individual cans.
But-
So, less truly
Oh.
is more.
But
oh,
Oh,
when you get one of those cans in your hand, it looks like that picture I had on my
Andre the Giant.
with Andre
Yeah,
the
it
Giant,
does.
the beer can in his hand.
Yeah.
So I get to pretend like, oh, because all dog.
But they talked to a food stylist. This is a thing.
A food
yes,
Food
stylist.
stylist, and she
There
said
are
these
food-
cans are so cute. Was not aware that they actually cost more.
She has a degree in food style.
Right.
they actually cost more to make.
No, to buy. I mean,
Oh.
they're
Why would a food stylist know what something costs? They design. They don't worry about what it costs.
I think she worries about how she looks when
It
she's eating and
glistens.
drinking
That's all we
something.
care about.
she's an artiste.
Didn't they say that they were
She
going
is
to
a
make?
freaking Juilliard trained food stylist. She can't be worried about.
And there's
the
people
price.
that can't get jobs in web design, you know?
That's true.
Well, didn't they say that Budweiser was going to make their can into that weird shape that they make? You know, the
I've heard that.
logo.
Oh, the logo, the bow tie.
Yeah, the bow tie like logo, and they were going to shape their cans like that.
I would drink that.
That's
I'd
kinda
actually
stupid.
drink beer.
The point is,
It doesn't get me. It doesn't take much to get me on the bandwagon.
Well, they're not going to shrink the size of a beer can.
But what if they twist
you
it
can't
up?
get drunk quick.
What if
Oh,
they
but
what if
you
they
sell more.
what if they twist it up so the liquid comes out faster?
it's kind of
Wow.
like Kit
That
Kat
would be
when they
awesome.
carve the name in there and you lose chocolate.
Why
Ted Burger.
haven't they gotten to the point where every beer company, just has like you know that jug I drink 8 gallons of water out of every day?
Yes.
Why don't they just fill that with beer? It's got a nice little handle and just here's
Yeah.
you carry along.
Because we're
Keg.
not apparently old enough and responsible enough to know when to stop drinking anything. That's what they're doing now, basically.
yeah.
Pepsi,
point?
beer, whatever.
What's your point? Give
That's-
us more of what we want.
That's their point, though. That's why they're doing.
Why do
No,
they
that's-
care about us? They're the ones providing us with the food.
I think it's the same thing as the candy bars making the fun size.
Well,
They're just
Budweiser makes
And the fun sizes
22
got
ounce.
smaller. You've noticed that over the
Really?
years, right?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Sons
Oh,
of
yeah.
bitches.
And the fun sizes have gone right to up your sizes.
so. Basically, Coca-Cola just put out a press release saying that you should reward yourself a little bit with a little bit. You know.
So how
that's-
many ounces?
You're a
is-
mad woman with that bottle of RC. That's
right.
It's 20 fluid ounces,
You're going
brother.
to hell. You're going to
They're going to
hell.
make
Whatever.
the bottle smaller too.
Not only that, it's RC product.
Whatever happened to super size and king size?
They cut all that out.
After
See,
they-
McDonald's is going to revamp their menu
See,
and take a bunch
back
of
in the
I
old
thought that, no, I thought that
days.
was proven as false.
Well, was
Back
that a
in-
Snoops?
Snoops.
Like the Big Mac, they say, oh, they're going to get rid
Well,
of
no,
double
no.
pounders.
It's
that
a not
was-
so big.
They're just going to
Mac.
get rid of like triple quarter pounders and things like that.
I had 2 triple cheeseburgers the other day. They're just $2. Collect the whole set.
And technically, 3 of the regular hamburger patties at McDonald's is about the same as
Right.
one regular at
make at
Wendy's.
home,
So-
And you're
Yeah.
getting 20% ground up worms in that shit anyway. So anyway, back in the olden days, it was cool. It was the hip thing to be supersized. It was the hip thing to get literally a bucket of fries and a trough
Remember
of
the
drink.
Moose cups that you got?
Yeah.
At
Yes!
Hardee's? Which that
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably was that
I
32
don't know
ounces
that I
probably?
couldn't
Sure.
find a moose cup within within a half an
We
hour.
had
of
them
drinking.
here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But now everybody's health. It's all about healthy. It's all about putting
They
your
got you to
calories.
quit smoking. Now they're going
It's
to
all
get you
about.
to eat better.
Trust me, there's nothing wrong with quitting smoking, Sam.
I know that, but
Now Hardee's. Now Hardee's
you
hasn't
kidding?
quite jumped on the
Hardee's
health
is
bed.
trying to kill us all.
Hardee's is like, you want to eat healthy? Up yours, buddy.
the Al Qaeda.
Like, you know, the only thing better than a 3rd-pound hamburger is a 3rd-pound hamburger with barbecued brisket
Here's the
underneath
Al
it.
Qaeda burger. It's going to blow you up.
And
If Hardee's and Kentucky Fried Chicken ever hooked up, my God.
But you'll die with a
Kentucky
smile.
Fried Chicken.
And then Taco Bell kind of did it too. It's like, you know what's better than a quesadilla or a burrito is a quesadilla made into a burrito.
or in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have the crunch wrap sliders now, which
Yeah,
that's a
I had
great
2
name
today.
for it. Jeez, you're.
Wow.
First time ever, though.
First time ever. I haven't
tried-
eaten Taco
Well,
No,
Bell.
I
cigarette
always
afterwards?
liked them.
What would,
Yeah,
what would
Dustin
you
and
rate
I-
it?
Dustin and I were asked to come speak to a class of 7th graders about our job and language and how language and writing helps us, not only in our job, but in our everyday lives. And we spoke for like an hour and a half.
Did you do it in that
Really?
monotone?
I was spent.
Not only did we speak for an hour and a half,
No preparation.
we just walked in and was
We
like,
just walked
so what are we
in
going to
and
say?
said,
Like this.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Because that's how we do it on the radio.
That's right. That's how we roll. As you can tell, this podcast is planned out second by second.
Exactly.
But when I go live in front of an audience, I like to fly by the seat of my pants. So, we convinced them to all become writers, or at least start a business. You know what really blew me away about that is how many questions we got. So if someone comes up to you and offers to buy your business. Are you going to sell it? And that's and we're like, that's the dream right there.
It is.
Yeah.
If you, I listened to a podcast called Startup, and it's
He's
and
getting ready
it's
to bore us. Hold on.
well, no, but it's actually about.
He's doing a podcast, telling us about a podcast.
He's actually doing a podcast about him starting his
Ah.
podcast
Is it
company.
Exhibit?
Huh?
Is Exhibit doing?
No,
it?
that
No.
he's pimping your car.
Yeah, he's
Pimping your
car.
Pimping your
podcast.
podcast.
But it was kind of funny. He was talking to all these. He talked to like one of the biggest like venture capitalists in the country, and the dude they basically met at a coffee shop. He flew from New York to L.A.
Landed on the coffee shop in a helicopter.
Yeah, they went to a coffee shop, had coffee, talked about the industry
No big
that he was
whoop.
in, and then as they were walking out, basically to get an Uber, they were going to get
Yeah.
someone to come get him. He's like, the guy basically said, "Now I've done this before, but it's like I'm going to call an Uber. It's going to be here in 5 minutes. Tell me what you're doing, and why
Well,
you
if they
want
just
my
had
money."
coffee, shouldn't he have told them during the coffee?
Yeah, but they
It sounds
they-
like a shitty
Yeah, they
business.
never talked about it, and of course he just absolutely bombed in throwing it out there. But
You got to be able to pitch it. It's like Die Hard meets Speed.
basically every startup that this guy funds, like your Instagrams, your Twitters, and all this other stuff.
It's like The Walking Dead meets Glee.
But the dream is that you put he puts $2 million into this company and it turns into Twitter, where it's worth
This sounds like a TV
$6
show.
billion. Yeah, it kind of is. But
Kind
I
of
mean,
like
that-
Shark Tank or
Yeah.
something.
But does a better TV show sound like this? It's like The Walking Dead meets Glee.
But the whole point of it is he
Now that's
hopes
a TV show.
all of these venture capitalist guys hope to invest money and it turns into a 10xer or a 100xer.
And then they sell
where
that,
it gets sold and then they make millions off of it. That's all that they ever shoot for. They never shoot for, we're going to start a company and when I'm
Change the world.
when I'm 65 years old, I'm going to pass it on. I was like, no, I'm going to start a company, and good Lord willing, in 24 to 36 months, I will sell it and start another one. That's all it is.
That's why I think we need to get on this handy dandy keg that you can take home with you.
Handy candy.
64 ounces of booze.
They make that. Well, they make 44s. They make double deuces and 44s.
I don't know what that means. Let's get back to The Walking Dead meets Glee. It's a post-apocalyptic
High
setting.
school.
And
where did
yeah,
Class of Nukem
Wait,
High.
wait, where did this come from?
what happens is there's some sort of germ warfare. There's some sort the government. The government is
Is it the
working.
government?
The government is evil. They're always evil and always super smart.
Always?
Except there are accidents. Always. But except for the times when they're not. They're working on this kind of chemical warfare that will kill an enemy, but also turn the enemy, it'll kill them, but kind of brain dead, but they will switch allegiances and you can use them for fodder against.
They
turns
turn
them into
face.
robots.
They
Right.
turn face, right?
Yeah, they quit fighting for that side and can't think on their own. We control them. Our
Strange
government
brew.
control
Didn't
them.
they put something
It's
in the
kind
beer?
of
Oh, my
like
God.
the crazies, except the chemical doesn't create civil unrest. It changes their opinion on everything 180 degrees.
Right. So what it does is the chemical takes over the brain of the enemy, whereas we can control them now and use our enemy to fight our enemy.
And they love classic musicals.
And because it's our enemy,
Strange brew.
no, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Because it's our enemy, I'm just giving you the setup of what they're working on.
Okay.
Shit hadn't gone haywire yet. And because it's the enemy, we get to use it. We don't care about the enemy anyway, so we're not losing our people. We're just losing their people who we're going to fight anyway.
Some people.
So we're turning.
So they're working on
They're
this.
killing each other, so we don't have to do it.
They're working on this. Shit goes haywire. They decide that they can, they've been testing it on like monkeys and dogs. And, of course, there's always that one scientist that got morals and won't test it on
And the
humans.
only problem that they had during testing was trying to figure out what the animals' allegiances were to begin with.
So they decide not to, they're going to scrap it.
Jeez, your mic is hot.
Hot, Mike! So they try to destroy it, destroy the chemical or whatnot. It ends up going to a place like the Guts Factory, out here, the place where they dispose of medical waste.
Ah, okay.
The
got
place
it.
where I had a friend who worked there who knew a coworker who found
need to do that.
Huh?
Go on.
We probably
Stop.
shouldn't tell that story.
Probably shouldn't tell that story.
Yeah, probably
Tell
not.
us afterward.
Yeah,
The
we'll tell you
punchline
after.
is, I would like to give you a piece of my mind. That's the punchline.
Okay, got it.
So he would reach into his pocket, bring something out, and say, I'd like to give you a piece of my mind. That's the punchline.
Okay, gotcha.
Medical waste. Anyway, as it goes into the big incinerator, it kind of,
We've discussed this
burns
before.
it. Yeah, this. I'm kind of meshing my zombie stories. It kind of disseminates out through the smoke and gets in the clouds. The clouds are seeded. Rainstorm comes through right as they're having a big gathering at the high school.
Or
Pours
Oktoberfest.
down on there, turns the teens into zombies. Now, remember, we couldn't perfect it. You can't control them, but it does still kind of kill. They become zombies,
Quit hitting the
but
table.
it's zombies at like a Fame high school. What's the Fame high school?
Fame. Oh,
Fame.
Performing
A
arts.
performing arts.
New York.
Juilliard?
Juilliard.
It's like The Walking Dead meets Glee.
the Dancing Dead.
Thank you very much. And it's called The Dancing Dead. Or, no, The Art of Death.
Glee is just almost over.
Dance
That's
of the
all I gotta
Dead.
say.
Dance of the Dead or
Yeah.
Dance with the
Dancing
Dead?
on their graves or dancing on your grave?
And we can work on the title later. I've given you the story.
Song of the Dead.
Song of the Dead. I like it because it's
Pardon.
of the, it goes
Yeah.
along with
Yeah.
the Dawn of the Dead, Song of the Dead. So there's, okay, Hollywood, steal that one, you dicks. Actually, I think they have. Speaking of zombies, we saw the trailer the other day for a show called iZombie from the
Where?
makers of Veronica Mars.
Really?
And
Heard of
I
it.
am in. It's a girl who is a zombie that is still functioning in today's society. And she gets a job at the morgue, and that's where she's able to eat brains to stay alive. But when she eats the brains, she absorbs like the memories of the
Oh.
people.
And she's solving crimes.
She's solving crime. Yeah.
How great is that?
Where she gets a hold of some bad brains, like a criminal brain.
Right.
Exactly. Then
I
you know that they
so
killed
she's
somebody.
using- okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect her.
No. She just knows.
She, okay,
Right.
gotcha.
She just knows that she helps the law solve crimes.
And they know she's a zombie?
No.
Well, how do they know she knows how
I don't
all this
think
stuff?
I don't think the zombie knows. No. The guy who figures it out, who's her coworker, says she's psychic.
Yeah.
There you go. Figured it
And the
out.
cops go along with
They've
it?
got to.
Okay.
The creator of Veronica Mars is going to have an answer for everything.
All right.
man.
Well, yeah, you have to. Has there ever been a show that, had a plot hole that was so horrible that it...
Lost.
I watch
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw every night. Let me go off on Monday Night Raw. The champion, the current WWE champion, is Brock Lesnar, and he appears on TV about once every 3 months.
About as often as we do podcasts.
He wrestles about every 2 or
Pretty
3
much.
pay-per-views. Now, John Cena's in a battle with the Authority, who I don't want to get into it, but they were out of power. Then he brought them back, and it was. It's like everything that happened over the last 4 months has not happened.
Essentially,
It's
it was
Heroes.
a hostage situation,
It's like
which we
Heroes.
love.
Do you remember the first episode? Do you remember when Heroes, when stuff would happen, but then they would just go back in time
Yeah.
and change
Let
everything?
me
And
ask
it's
this.
like, well, what the? Why
me-
did you make us watch all that stuff if you're just going to say, okay, didn't happen, we're starting over?
Let me interject this one thing, because somebody
Stopping
pointed this
my
out.
Flow.
Oh, no. Well, when he brought back the Authority,
Yes.
it was under duress. So
Yes.
in a court of law,
Yes.
should that have
Exactly.
stood? Okay.
In a wrestling court of law, anything goes because wrestling fans are stupid. It's either wrestling fans are stupid or it's just wrestling. You could do whatever. So anyway, John Cena decides that he's got a plan to get rid of the authority. First, he wants everybody to use the hashtag authority sucks.
Okay.
That's the first part of his plan because everybody knows
This is
hashtags.
true now?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know this.
The second part of his plan, the second part of John Cena's plan
Quit
to
hitting
get the
the table.
authority out of power is to win the WWE title and then just go home. Because everybody knows if the champion and the WWE title is not on TV every week, everything will just grind to a halt. I'm sitting there watching him say this, and I'm going, why am I a wrestling fan? Why do I continue to punish myself when this idiot is coming out here saying that his plan to stop everything is to be off TV with the title,
Which is what Brock
which
Lesnar
is exactly what is happening now.
Right.
And of course, Brock Lesnar shows up that night to kind of make everybody say, "Oh, well, see, he does come." No, he doesn't. I hate you, WWE. Give up on the WWE. They're stupid. Now, not the network, because you've got to watch NXT. NXT's great. It is the wrestling show you've all been searching for. It is less talky, more wrestling. And then Lucha Underground could be the greatest show on TV.
Last episode of Lucha Underground, they came out there and said, we're going to have this match. It's like the Royal Rumble. Everybody comes in every 90 minutes. Started the match. In the match, credits roll. It was one match. It lasted
Yes.
the entire time.
So,
Whoa.
I mean, it's the greatest show of all time. And then, starting this Friday on AXS TV, AXS TV, if anybody's got that.
I don't have it.
Friday night at 9 o'clock Central Time, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Really?
With American commentary.
Jim
American. No, it's not Jim Ross, but Dustin
I did catch part of that.
Dustin and I watched that pay-per-view. It is the best pay-per-view I've seen, and I don't know how long, and I couldn't have been more pleased to hear Jim Ross call a big-time wrestling match. My new favorite wrestler is Shinsuke Nakamura, and the Bomb-A-Ye is my new finisher. I love it. I got a text. I think it's from Dustin, but I'm not sure. And he's sitting right here.
It can't be from
It's
Well,
a
now-
scam. It's somebody trying to
Is
sell you
Sam's Macho Man robe going to triple in value now that he's going in the Hall of
yeah.
Fame?
fame. That's right.
Well, I assume it already tripled in value when the man died, so yes. I
So
would
now
say
it's
Hall of Fame.
priceless.
You need to put it. You need to. I swear to God, you need to put it on eBay, promote the hell out of it, and put like $100,000 reserve.
You
on
don't
it.
want to sell it though. Why would you
Wow.
sell it? Don't sell it. But
Oh,
isn't the Antiques Roadshow coming to Louisville?
Did y'all see the baseball card deal?
no.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lady
Yeah, I saw
that brought in of course they had them up on a board. There was probably, I don't know, 24 just baseball cards.
We're talking like
1870s.
dudes
Oh,
were playing
wow.
in like 3-piece suits
Yeah,
as
but
uniforms.
the
and
baseball
giant mustaches.
The baseball card expert said, first off, he said we're referring to this as an archive, and we're referring to it as an archive because we've never seen these before. Okay, and she said, well, where did you get them? And they said, oh, well, so and so had them, I got them, and this woman's, she was pretty elderly, and said, well, they were I just had them in a drawer in a dresser somewhere.
Yeah.
That's where
It
everything's
wasn't.
at.
And it said, if you were going to insure them, you should insure them for a minimum of $1 million.
Wow.
But I thought it was funny that the baseball card expert, which I'm sure they get baseball cards all the time, was like, we've never seen these before. We don't know where they came from. The only thing that we know is we looked at them and it said they were made here and this is the year and and that's it. So it's basically baseball cards that no one knew existed.
It would be right to see Sam on Antiques Roadshow with Macho Man.
The Macho Man robe.
Sunglasses on and your headband.
Oh, I'd wear it in there. Yeah.
And you'd have to bring in the robe, but you have to dress like Michael P.S. Hayes with your Bad Street shirt.
Oh, okay.
Sunglasses.
I
Bad
could see it,
Street. Michael P.S. Hayes. I'm hungry. We started too late. I knew we started too late. I knew I should have had a snack. So what else has happened besides bad wrestling? I'm serious, WWE, you sons of bitches. I'm fixing to be out,
And that's saying something.
and I don't want to be.
My brother is. He texted me the other day, and I said, I heard. I told him he goes to bed early. I said, Rollins curb stomped Lesnar. He said, yeah, I know. I hope he dies. I was like, okay.
Wow.
So he's
Rollins
fed up.
or Lesnar?
I don't know. I didn't bother
Both.
asking.
I will say that the very end of Raw was great. Unfortunately, they've got a week before the pay-per-view to cock it all up again.
When is the next pay-per-view?
Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and it's Royal Rumble.
Daniel Bryan, is he?
He's back.
He
He's
is
coming
back.
back.
Yeah.
He's back on SmackDown. What is today? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
He's back on SmackDown tomorrow night against Kane because we've never seen that matchup.
They're the worst. They talk about how they have like 70 wrestlers on their roster.
And we get the same old matchups every
To be honest with you, if you really want to see what the hierarchy is,
and most of
Go
them
to
they don't push anyway. Most of the ones that they push to the top were just who wants to see Big Show? You know what the proposed main event for the February pay-per-view is?
What?
Rollins and Big Show versus Cena and Roman Reigns.
Are they still pushing?
Why
Reigns
would I
for
want to watch
WrestleMania?
that?
Are they
Yes,
still?
they're pushing Roman Reigns as basically Samoan Prince Cena. Like he takes no damage.
Now, if he was a badass
he
like
has
Haku,
the
then-
worst promos of all time. The other night,
Beanstalk, I heard something about that.
yes, he basically told a fairy tale and talked about a giant and kicking the giant's ass, and then at the end said, "Oh, by the way, that giant I was talking about was you, Big Show." As the Big Show, it's like
Big Show should have.
you've got to explain everything. It's just like somebody online said it was like hate watching now.
Does
Just to
Rollins
watch
still
it.
have that damn
He's
briefcase? He still has.
He does, but he's the best guy on the show. He is because he can work. His promos are getting a little better, and he's an asshole. And he's an asshole that you hate because you're supposed to hate him, not
Yeah.
because oh god, it's the Big Show. Boo.
There's X-Pac heat where you just hate him
Right.
'cause
There's
he's
X-Pac
ham.
heat where you
And then
hate him
there's
because you
Terry
hate him
Funk,
and you want him to go away.
You know.
And then there's heat as in he's
I'm gonna
doing
stab
his
you.
job. Yes.
exactly.
Oh, speaking of stabbing, I forgot to put this on the Instagrams and the social media. Dustin ordered me some Christmas presents. We didn't call it Christmas presents. Dustin ordered me some Christmas presents, and they arrived like last week.
Wow.
Don't look at me.
There was some delay of some sort, and I think the delay is because the man actually is the one doing the shipping out of
Oh.
his home in Castle Cornet in Louisville.
What did you get?
Dustin got me the what is it? Rags, pins, and
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know.
programs or whatever. The whole Memphis wrestling history of Memphis wrestling book with Cornette and James, Mark James, and then the big Midnight Express anniversary book with to Lee, your friend Jim Cornette written in there.
We need to make a road trip to Louisville, and I'm sure he'd let us in the house, and he would.
You're
just sit
sure?
You're sure?
I'm sure he would.
He'd let us in the
there.
house.
If you wanted to talk wrestling, I'm sure he would let you in the house.
You're sure
Yes,
he would
I am.
let us in
Well,
the house?
I am.
It sounds like we need to do a podcast on the road.
Well, he's got his own podcast
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
called the Jim Cornette Experience.
I have to be honest with you. I
Dustin got his first taste on our trip to South Carolina.
I want everyone to listen to the podcast because I'm going to say woman, but she's like 29. Is that what you said?
She's like his producer,
Yeah,
co-host.
but
He's
she's
married
like,
to some.
but she's like
One
29
younger.
years old. But she has the quintessential middle-aged woman public radio voice. Very proper, very
Like
very just
kind of like NPR.
yes. But I mean, just more like you have a DJ on public radio that's playing classical music that night. You know how they kind of talk like this, and they're very
Yeah, you have to
but
have
they're
a
just-
softer delivery.
But yeah, real soft delivery. And then to hear her talk wrestling and curse and all this other stuff in that voice, it's wild.
is
it
this
really
his
is.
wife? Because I've seen
No,
her. Okay,
no.
he's got a.
His wife has not been on the show yet, as far
She's
as
got
I
like
know.
purple hair or something like
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
oh,
wife's-
it's
Stacey Cornett.
It is weird.
But Jim Cornette is great. He was just in Orangeboro not too long ago. We should have gone to see him, but they said I think they said that they had some sort. We heard him talk about it on the podcast
Yeah.
that we listened to on the way to South Carolina, and I think they actually did. See, I didn't know if they were just sitting up there. What's your name? Hi, how are you doing? And signing stuff, or if they were actually like,
It depends.
you know,
Well,
having
when I
like
met
a
him,
Q&A or something.
when I met him, nobody was in line, so we just shot the shit. And
Well, great. He's
signed
not going to
books
listen in the house if he hears us now. Nobody
Yeah.
was in line. Good job.
at that moment.
So I don't even know why. Oh yes, Jim Cornette, Christmas time. Jim Cornette books. I haven't cracked them open yet. It's one of those things that once you get started, you know you're going to be finished, and then you know
You can
it's
pick
over.
up that book at random and just read.
Right. I mean, it's got like he had like death threats that had been mailed to him in there.
Awesome.
Somebody smeared a booger on a
He had
letter that they sent him, I think.
He had Ric Flair's resignation letter from the booking committee to Jim Hurd, and he's got like all the money they made. I mean, all the houses, how much money they made. I mean, how many were there? I mean, the results of all the matches. So, and he's working on a history of wrestling in Louisville. So that's his next book. So that ought to be interesting.
And that's next year's Christmas present.
Yes, next year's Christmas present. Anybody else get any decent Christmas presents? I mean, I don't know that you can top those. Autographed Jim Cornette books on the history of Memphis, and
I got sweaters for Christmas.
I got
Ugly sweaters?
No, not ugly sweaters.
I got an electric razor.
There you go.
Sam. Albums?
Didn't you get a Beatles thing for Christmas? Posted a picture of it. No, I'm thinking of something else. George Harrison. Okay, I don't know.
Did you get a Three's Company lunchbox?
No, I bought a Kiss lunchbox.
You bought it, though.
Sounds about right.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to. God, what did I get this year? I liked it, whatever it was. I'll pass. Come back to me.
I got some video games.
Yeah, I got Grand
And
Theft Auto
he's
5.
been
and
Speaking
rating
of video
and pillaging.
games, I guess you saw the news that archive.org now has ROM games.
Yeah.
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 Oregon
We need
Trail.
ROM
Oregon
games.
Trail and
Fantastic.
Yeah,
computer-
the old computer games like
Oh,
Oregon Trail.
gives a
and those-
crap.
I don't really care either, but I thought it
I
was
never
neat.
played any of those games.
You've got
I gotta
dysentery.
tell you, you died of dysentery. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's just.
Oh, okay,
is-
whoa.
Is
is this the one that just came
The
out?
sexual assault is so real.
What
well,
was the one that
Yeah.
Conan
No, but
O'Brien played
Yeah.
last year?
it's
That's
been
it.
out since
Okay.
2013, but
Okay.
they redid it and bumped it up for the PlayStation 4.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I got it, and
Quattro.
the one of the characters in particular, but all of the characters,
PlayStation Quattro.
the three characters that you use, you switch back and forth.
Is any of them a female character?
No.
Come on.
Is any of
I don't
them
even wanna talk
a
about
character of color?
Yes, Franklin.
Well, there's a little diversity.
And
Franklin.
and the
That's
guy-
racist.
but the
Let me
guy,
guess.
but
Let
the
me
guy
guess
that
Franklin's
plays
a drug dealer and or a
That's
thief.
a Peanuts name.
Yeah, that
the
is,
black
yeah.
kid on
no,
Peanuts.
we steal things. We do bank heists. We did a jewelry heist.
Of
That's
course, Franklin steals
no,
things.
but
Good
Michael,
one, Rockstar Games.
Michael and Trevor are the masterminds. They set it all
Well,
up.
I can guarantee you Trevor is a white boy.
Well, Trevor. Now I'm not going to say.
And he probably comes from money, and he's trying to get street cred.
no.
There you go.
The dude Trevor. He's the craziest of the three
Of
characters.
course Trevor is.
The guy that plays him, the things that they do are so funny, and it just, I mean, it's great. It's unbelievable. The stupid little things they do and the funny things that they do and just the play between the crazy characters that are involved. Man, I mean, it's
Have you tried to blow up a strip club with a rocket yet?
no.
He's getting to it.
Because Conan O'Brien never could get that one quite.
That
done.
was hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, it was. I did do the mission where he had to chase the guy with the boat. They were still in the boat, and his son was on the boat. And they were running down the freeway. That's one of like the very first things that you do once you open that character up. But
Speaking
Man.
of street cred, Riff Raff. Anybody familiar with
I
the
love
rapper?
Riff
I
Raff.
love Riff Raff.
He's the greatest.
Have you heard this
of all
prom
time.
scheme that he's got going on? The
So
guy's
what?
going to be.
Oh, and he
Riff Raff-
wants to be a wrestler too.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
happened
that's
since we've
it,
met.
yeah.
Prom?
And
Okay.
prom. And
He's,
prom.
he's going to be 33 in a couple of weeks. I looked it up.
Okay.
I don't keep up with him.
Basically, he's old enough to not be Riff Raff anymore.
For $28,000, somebody's daughter, as long as she's 18, can go to prom with him. And he'll offer, he'll talk about it on Twitter and Instagram, give her
Excellent.
promotion.
Excellent.
He'll pull up in a Lamborghini. He'll take pictures, and he'll also let her come to his penthouse, which will be the nicest penthouse that they have in the area. That
and
he
she'll
goes
never
to.
be seen again.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for
He'll also
the,
pay for all the medicine she'll need to
That's
get
right.
rid of the gonorrhea and whatever.
The riffraff.
Yeah, the
Riff
Riff
Raff,
Raff
if you ever
around
see-
her junk.
If you ever see the ridiculousness on MTV that Riff Raff was on there, it's really funny.
Oh, he's a great guy.
It's really funny because he walked in and just had a stack of money in his hand, literally just various rubber banded stacks into one big brick of money. And they said, "So what are you carrying around there?" He's like, "This is $17,000." He's like, "You're just like, that's odd, $17,000 because." Floyd Mayweather walks around with a bag with $1 million in cash, so 17,000 seems arbitrary. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You never know when you're driving by and you want to put a down payment on a Camaro or something."
I have a feeling that
I've
Riff
never
Raff,
heard of the guy. How long has he been around to get that kind of money?
Well, that movie Spring Breakers,
Breakers.
is the James Franco
Yeah.
character's based on him. If you've heard of that,
Well,
movie.
James Franco, I don't
Vanessa
think
Hudgens
will
was in
will
it,
say
was it?
that,
No.
but Riff Raff
No.
says that,
What was
and it's
that
quite obvious that he
It
is.
was,
Yeah.
who directed that? Somebody.
Corey Haim?
Corin, the same guy that did Bully. Was it Bully? The same guy that did Kids.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
Harmony,
That was the worst movie ever.
Harmony
Corrine.
Corrine. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gummo.
it was. Yeah, Gummo.
One of my very favorite
Yeah, Gummo.
movies.
Yeah, he's the
I
one that
forgot
kind of
about
does
Kids.
all the weird.
indie type.
It's Selena Gomez
He-
and
he tries
Vanessa
to- Vanessa
Hudgens.
Hudgens.
Yeah.
He tries to
That's
get
the
the
one.
girls that look like
Yeah.
as close to 14
Jailbait.
and 15,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then get them naked on TV.
right.
But
Or
anyway,
on
the
screen.
James Franco character is Riff Raff.
Yes.
Pretty
Now,
much.
I think they are
Isn't James
denying
Franco a
it.
character
but yes.
himself?
Well,
He's a nutbag.
Don't be suspicious.
now did anybody rent the interview and watch it?
That's what
No.
I was going to ask.
Hell no.
I had an interview.
I'm
today. I
I'm
didn't
pretty
read it.
sure. I'm pretty sure. North Korea and
I
Sony
don't-
Pictures were saving.
When
this
I
for a
saw
shitty
it-
believe-
movie.
It
When I
pissing-
first saw the trailer, I was just like,
I just can't
Yeah.
stand that.
There's some people that don't like to be made fun of, and if they have weapons, yeah,
Well,
I'm good. I don't
that's-
have
that's
to,
the
you
way
know?
"How dare you, Sam?
You
This is
can
America. If we
you
make
can,
fun of you,
uh,
buddy, you better just sit there and take it.
you can
Exactly.
create.
Right up. We'll shove a rocket up your ass.
And you better be
create
smiling.
You
That's
can
right.
create a fictitious
Thank you,
country
America,
with a
for making
fictitious
fun of it.
dictator and kill him and make
Right.
it look like. You can make it obvious that it looks like it's North Korean's dictator,
Well,
but
they
you
did in
don't.
cartoons.
Just think if Russia had got a bug up their butt about all those movies where they were the enemy
Yeah.
and we whipped their ass.
Wolverines.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Rocky Four.
that movie was
Rocky
horrible.
Four.
I watched that movie. Everybody's got
Red
so
Dawn?
fond memories of Red Dawn.
I love
That
it.
movie is horrible.
I saw it once.
Nah.
and then
Except
they
for
did a
Wolverines!
remake. Then they did
Avenge me!
Speaking of remakes,
The best part of it was Harry Dean Stanton
Yeah.
because he was the
And
only
he was
actor in the
literally
movie.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
they're going to remake Escape from New York.
Brilliant.
I think that's a good idea.
Escape from New York is a trash.
No, it never happened the last
It's
time.
trash.
They were going to get an
Well,
Australian to play him.
Snake
Kurt
Plissken,
Russell.
right?
Good.
And then they said no, and they just scrapped it. Now
Hell with
Fox
it.
has the rights to it. What What
My
they were
beef-
gonna-
I thought they were going to
the
make a TV show. Is that what they're
No.
talking about? I
My
thought they were
beef
gonna
is
do a
that
TV
they're
show.
rebooting Poltergeist,
Boo.
but I think it's going to be a little different. Maybe.
It would have to be.
It's not going to have
Wait,
a
it'll be a
As
little
little.
long
black
as you
girl.
don't touch the classics like Point Break, The
No, they're
Godfather,
doing Point Break.
Scarface.
Boy, we haven't heard a
They're
lot
doing
about
Point
the
Break.
Point Break.
I
movie
think
in a
Point Break
while.
fell through. I think it fell through.
I'm looking it up.
The bogey
So-
guy backed out, I think.
So are they going to have like a little woman playing the spiritual?
See, I think the details
is
are
clear.
different this time, but I mean, it's got Sam Rockwell's the dad, Rosemary DeWitt's in it, and there is a little girl
Rosemary
in
DeWitt,
it.
is that Janet?
That's
Three's Company.
Choice to win.
But I like where you're going here. See, if I would
Sam
hire-
Rockwell? You know
Is that his name?
I don't know. You know who I thought of when you? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You know who I thought of
the rapper. I mean, the singer. Rockwell.
Hank
Holy
McCoy
shit.
off of Law
Well,
and Order.
This is New Point Break, and check out the release date.
2015. My ass.
I think it might have fallen
July
through.
29th.
Is there any trailer for that up at all? It seems like you'd have a teaser up for that movie.
Point Break?
Maybe.
It might have fallen through. There's nothing
See,
on
but
it.
yeah, I haven't heard
Johnny
anything.
Did they release a
Utah
list of movies for the
is-
next 5 years
Yeah,
the other day?
well,
Or is
I
it
saw
just
the one
superhero
for
film?
this year.
No,
and that's
I'm
where
out.
I saw the
I'm out.
Poltergeist thing.
Luke Bracey is Johnny Utah.
Now,
I don't know who the hell that is.
And Gerard Butler was going to be.
Gerard Butler is no longer Bodie. Bodie is Edgar Ramirez.
Who the hell are these people?
I don't
I have
know.
no
He was
idea.
in the Born
What does it
Ultimatum.
This is
matter?
straight to video,
Bandage
is what
You
it sounds like
sons
to
of
me.
bitches, how dare you speak ill of Point Break?
I'm just talking of the remake. I mean,
Well, Delroy Lindo's in it so far.
I've heard of him.
and that's all right. And Ray Winstone is in it.
I think we should just get Gary Busey in it. Hopefully, hope to God he's the FBI director dude.
I am an
God.
FBI agent.
Now, let me ask you all. Now, the new Terminator movie that's coming out, is that going to be a... I don't know if it's a remake
Who cares?
No.
It's a Terminator movie. You go
Schwarzenegger's
see
in
it.
it, though, isn't he?
Huh?
Schwarzenegger's
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
one.
You have to remember we're dealing with
He's
time
back.
travel. It can be anything.
Because
Right.
what they're doing is they left off from the fourth movie, but they're going back to the first movie.
I think this is a total reboot, which means
That's what they should
in
call it.
another 30 years
Total
Terminator reboot. In another 30 years, we'll get another reboot.
Because it's like it's going into a cyclical cycle here.
Listen,
Schwarzenegger the
Hollywood
Terminator?
is not interested in shit like Song of the Dead.
No.
That's original.
They're interested,
They're interested in shit
franchises.
that they know that have already made
If
money.
we could
that
get
they
Kristen
can just-
Stewart attached to it, it's on.
Here's what Hollywood is. Here's what Hollywood is. Hollywood sees an original idea that worked.
Like the WWE.
It's like the first time you get a big hot pastrami from Subway.
God, I hate that commercial.
That's a fresh take from Subway. And Hollywood
Wait,
is
are they sponsors?
Hollywood is eating that big hot pastrami, and it's great. And they think, oh, well, now I've got to go have a movement. The movement is Terminator Reboot. The big hot pastrami was Terminator. What Hollywood has done is they've eaten it. And it can be, if you'd rather, it's regurgitated it. Instead of
No, let's
shatting,
call it
instead of
what it
shat
is.
it out, they've regurgitated it back out to feed the little birdies that
Kinda like
are
WWE.
basically the under 21 scene who've never actually seen the Terminator or think, man, the graphics in that movie suck.
Yeah.
Eat a dick, young people. Eat a dick.
Oh, shit.
Oh, now, this will probably be downloaded, or you'll hear this after, but Broad City returns.
Oh, Broad
And
City
the
returns
third-
tonight.
The third season got picked up today.
Yeah, they already
Yes.
picked up third season. Love Broad City.
I watch Workaholics, too. I think that show.
I don't watch Workaholics. What else? What have we been watching on Key and Peele? This season, the past season of Key and Peele was brilliant.
It really was. It was good.
So if you missed that, you're an idiot.
I've been watching Marco Polo and
Marco
Hello.
and the new season of episodes with Matt
Episodes. Blanc.
premiered this Sunday.
I don't have Showtime.
He's a
so-
Showtime guy, unlike the rest of the world, which are HBO guys.
And if you're on Netflix, you can watch all the seasons
And
of
the same
Friends.
thing. The same thing about Showtime is that I think they're making some halfway decent shows, but their regular programming is horrible.
Showtime, and this is random, but
When you've made your bones off of naked people, and we've got the internet now, it's not going to be good times. For
I
you.
was interested
Which is
in
why
this
Cinemax is in trouble.
until I read the article. I saw that there was going to be a Quiet Riot documentary that was crowdfunded, kickstarted,
A Quiet Riot documentary.
and I thought, yeah, but it's
Oh.
all about them carrying on the band after Kevin DeBro died.
Who cares?
Excellent.
Exactly. But it's a Kickstarter campaign, and people paid for this thing, and they're going to show it on Showtime.
Are they going to call it "Come On, Feel the Disrespect"?
They do have a name for it. I forgot what it was. I can't stop. or
A lot
something
of those
like that.
music documentaries are crowdfunded now that you see.
I just can't believe. I just
trying
didn't
to
think there'd
think
be
of
enough
one.
people interested in a post-DeBro Quiet Riot.
I'm not.
Story.
Is it DeBro or DeBrow?
Did Showtime,
It's
Was
like
that
a
the
Kasich
network?
Okasik, you know?
the network that did the documentary about all the Kiss tribute bands, did Showtime do that one?
I've never seen.
What
never
was
heard
the
of it.
name of it? Oh my God, I can't think of it.
No, since the last time we've discovered Slutter, the all-female
Slutter!
That was horrible.
Slutter!
They can play,
not
but they
impressed.
cannot sing.
Yeah, they can't
I
sing.
was not impressed. They're not coming to our amphitheater, damn it. I put in the word for Al Green at the
Did you?
city commission that night. I've been
I listen to a little Al Green
lately.
every now and again. I listened to a little bit of the Isley
Yes.
Brothers today. In
Isley
fact,
Brothers. Get down
in
on
fact,
it.
I listened to. I think they have a song. I think it's called "Between the Sheets," maybe.
Oh yeah,
and
make music.
I listened to it.
Am I the only one sweating?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
It's hot.
My
hotter than
coat
shit.
is
What
about
happened in
this
here?
coat's about to come
Oh,
off.
it feels wonderful.
But
in here.
anyway, the only reason that I listened, I don't even know why it came up, but I was listening. I clicked on that song.
Did you type in "baby making music" on Spotify?
No, I don't know how I got to it. But anyway, whenever I started listening to it, I was like, "This reminds me of something." And
Did you type in "I'm about to get my swerve on"?
but the song that I was listening to, that I think it was called "Between the Sheets,"
Oh yeah.
sounds just like "Dick in a Box" from Saturday Night Live. So then I had to watch
Justin
that.
Speaking of
Timberlake.
music, and I didn't get to watch the video because my phone wouldn't load, but you all saw it because we've been talking about country music.
I love country
And somebody
music.
Oh,
mixed
the
the
mashup.
songs together.
Yeah.
I love country music.
That is a brilliant experiment, by the way.
For those
Yeah.
that don't know,
I just
Mashup.
wonder. I want to know how.
Yeah,
what they
it's,
did.
I want them to do a video on how hard it was or easy it was to make that
That's
video.
That's what. Well, it's a mashup of 6 songs that essentially have the same melody, the same
subject
beat.
matter.
Yeah,
they
the
were all
same
big country
subject
hits,
matters.
right, within
Yeah.
the last year.
It's got Florida Georgia Line in it. It's got Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton,
The amazing thing is he
Parmalee.
probably could have done 20 songs.
Yeah.
Mashup.
and you can see a version of where the tracks are actually leading into each
Yeah,
other.
what it
and
is it's
so
if
cool.
you're familiar with GarageBand, it basically has 6 tracks, and each track has the song in it, and basically they made up each verse by taking a snippet out of each song. And you can see it all when it's supposed to play and when it does play.
It
and then
is
at the
fascinating
very
to
end,
watch.
Just look up like 2014 country music mashup.
and at the
You'll
very
find it.
end, they have all 6 songs playing, and all they do is adjust the volume to bring one up so you can hear it and take one down.
And it's all the
They
same
have the
song.
exact same tempo. They have everything. It is like they created a single solitary song, took every line, and found a different way to say it.
Yep.
So some
And
dude
they
at
made
home
it.
cracked
Oh.
the code, basically.
Apparently, yeah, he's figured it out.
What do you mean? I figured it out.
Well, yeah, we were talking about
I
this.
don't even have to be musically inclined to know that.
Well,
it all
yeah, but
sounds
he's
alike.
actually figured it out to the point where he made a song out
Yeah,
of it.
Dick should go to court with this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
I'm
it's
suing
ridiculous.
country music radio.
I think everything's come down to a science, and once, like WWE, once they find out what people
Just-
are going to eat, they
Just
say,
watch the
keep feeding
Nashville
them some shit.
episode of the
Yeah.
Foo Fighters Sonic Highways.
The Sonic Highways, if you
On
watch
HBO.
every city they go to, they kind of explain the music scene there.
Right.
And in
Dolly
Nashville,
Parton said she probably wouldn't have made it if she was starting today.
well, the
Dolly
easiest
Parton!
way, the easiest way to explain it is Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson, and it's weird to see him back in like the 50s or whatever.
Yeah, clean cut.
Clean cut and looking older than he does
Yeah.
now, which is weird. But he started out singing Crazy. He wrote Crazy.
Not like he was crazy, but crazier.
Yeah.
Patsy Cline.
Crazy for feeling.
Well, he sang it, and it's a great song, but it just didn't do anything. And so then country music gave the song to Patsy Cline, and of course it's the quintessential Patsy Cline and country music song.
And Willie was set for life after that.
And, well, yeah, but then Willie all of a
That
sudden
buys
is like,
that song by law weed.
so then Willie's like, well, I guess I'm going to leave Nashville and go down here to Texas or whatever and make my own music and make whatever I want to do. But then,
Well, they say Texas music's on the make. Sorry.
and then they actually have producers and things, and they talked about, it's like, yeah, if you write your own songs, you don't sing your own songs. We like to keep that separate. We have a bunch of people cranking out songs down here in a room,
Factory.
in a factory, and then
Right.
we find all these different performers. And
Kind of like back like what they did in the Motown days.
yeah, I mean, it is just
They had the white folk writing the song. Oh, sorry.
but it's just it's a machine, and it's
like Grand Theft Auto.
And really, if you see it, you look at some of these rock bands like the Foo Fighters and Kiss still out making albums and stuff like that. Now they're not super huge.
Yeah, they're shitty albums.
But yeah, but you don't see
They're albums that look like the end.
if you watch country music,
pastrami sandwich in Hollywood.
if you watch country music, it's almost like everybody gets their time.
Formula.
It's almost like you get the songs, you get them for, if you're huge, you get them for about 10 years, maybe if you're lucky, sometimes 3. And then there's a certain point where it's like, yeah, you don't get those songs no more. We need a young person. We need somebody that we can, because it's almost like, well, I guess it's probably, well,
because it would look wrong
weird
for an older man with a family to singing about putting sugar in your drink. And
Used
getting you
to,
drunk.
but you could do it. Conway Twitty
What?
sang until he died doing
Yeah.
that kind of
Thank
stuff.
God, Conway
Untimely
sang
death.
talking about them tight blue jeans to the day he died. That was
And
creepy
see-
country.
Well, we are now venturing into there is a female black country singer
Bring it on.
releasing a single.
Cool.
That's
You
out
know, I
now.
think that has there ever been one?
No,
Female? No, I don't think so.
there was.
Pride.
There's
in a
been
wig.
one. There was a duet that. Oh, and who did it? There was a duet in the '80s that one of the Pointer Sisters did with somebody in country. That's it.
Slow hand.
No, that was a Pointer Sister song.
It was Anita Pointer and
I need a pointer. There you go.
But it's a good song. Mickey Guyton is her name.
Huh.
I thought you were going to say Mickey Gilly. Said Anita Pointer and Mickey Gilly got together.
And Reba McEntire's just put out a new song. So
Reba,
and the thing is about those
not
singers
a black woman.
that get the fame for a while, they're still going to have fans for years, like Brooks and Dunn, which Brooks and Dunn don't even talk to
Joe
each
Diffie?
other anymore.
Did
Joe
they not?
Kicks,
They got back
Brooks, and
together,
Punch
though.
Dunn.
They said they got back together this year.
No.
They hate each other?
No, they hate each other
Why?
now.
What happened?
I don't know.
I thought they were touring
I
with Reba
guarantee
McEntire.
you one of them.
Well, you know,
struck,
one
the
of
other
them
one's
never really sang any songs.
It's kind of like Wham, the Andrew Ridgely.
Yeah, that's
Hall
kind of
and
what
Oates.
Brooks and Dunn is like.
Hall
Which,
and
which
Oates.
Dunn actually signed a new
Don't-
record deal.
Oates doesn't sing, but
Sure he
like
does.
But
3
then
songs.
there's going to be a
Well, he's
point
got
later
that
on down the
background, so
line.
they need him.
There's going to be a point later on down
Just
the
got the
line
mustache.
where Kicks or Punch is going to realize that we can't make money without.
Well, that
Brooks
probably
and
will
Dunn.
happen,
Yeah.
but for now, it's like Ronnie Dunn's like, I want to do my own music, do
Hell
my own
froze
thing. And
over.
Kix Brooks hosts a nationally syndicated country show.
But
And
he's
Ronnie
over there,
Dunn
he's like-
is still as popular.
No, it's old. He's what, in his 50s?
God, he's in his probably late 50s. I
If
So-
not
believe.
early 70s.
One of
Nobody's
them,
going to give him a.
one of them's going to
Fair
end
shake
up
anyway.
like the lead guitarist from the Eagles when they got back together.
Who were we? Oh, we
We
were.
watched
we were
the Eagles documentary over
Yeah.
the holiday.
Oh,
It was
the
great.
one on
It was
Netflix?
great.
I loved it.
18 hours
But
you've
long,
gotta
but it's
see
great.
that.
It's one of
You
those
don't like
things
the
where
Eagles, though, do you?
I do.
You would love it. It's awesome. It's
I'm
3
not a
hours
huge
long.
fan of the Eagles anymore. I used to be ate up with them, but at a certain point, you just move past
the one
Eagles.
thing that I really didn't like about it is that
I can't tell you why.
Glenn Fry, not so much Glenn Fry, but Don Henley. They have
Brian
video.
and Henley have got some of the most massive egos I've ever seen.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
they have video of them back before. I mean, when they were nothing, they
They've
were
got
just.
video. It's amazing. It's like the Rush documentary.
Yeah, the Rush
They've got
documentary.
video of them from like beginning of band all the way up to now.
I mean,
It's
high
like-
definition film. You
It's
know,
like,
Yeah.
why would you ever think to film all this? And you've got them filming, I'm going to beat your ass as soon as we get off this
Oh,
thing.
that's
Like,
the best.
what is going on here?
but you see them when they're nothing, before they're even the backup band for Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're
It's like you got them hanging out when they were just old stupid ass Glenn and dumb old
Don?
drummer.
Don Henley.
Yeah, he was just
But
a
what,
Jackson
drummer.
Brown
but
and
what
all
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
like about it, or what I don't like about
Linda
Don
Ronstadt.
Henley,
In
yeah,
the 70s, Linda Ronstadt.
getting it done. But Don Henley, even then, before he could not make rent, was just the pompous asshole that he is
was
now,
great.
and he's
He's
like
great.
a freaking billionaire.
It's great.
But when he had nothing, he was still that same asshole. Money did not change
And
him.
here's the lesson, kids. Be a dick, and you'll be successful.
but
And Joe Walsh,
Oh.
dear God.
I love Joe Walsh.
thank God for the Eagles. Joe Walsh would be dead.
He would be
But
dead.
the lead guitarist, when they got back together, he just didn't like things the way they were. and kind of got forced in, kind of sort of by Glenn Fry because of his massive ego. But finally, he got fed up for it and quit. And that was several years ago before they made the documentary. And then you could tell whenever they were talking to him, it's like, yeah, I regret doing this. Should have never done it. I was riding a gravy train with brisket wheels.
And now I'm here eating a shit sandwich. What was that? It was something brilliant. I can't remember now. Screw it.
Well, everything you say is brilliant.
I realize that, but I can't remember. I've got to have it in a
Ronnie
cogent
Dunn.
thought.
And then you learned that
Screw Ronnie Dunn.
that Desperado was an absolutely shitty song until Linda Ronstadt redid it. And then the Eagles went back and redid it like Linda Ronstadt did it, and it's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sang it like 50s doo-wop. Desperado, doo-wop, wop, wop, wop. Never mind. That didn't work out. Oh, trivia crack.
Oh, yeah.
I've
Is
not
everybody
gotten into
playing
that
trivia?
yet. I'm
Correct.
going
Hell
to.
no.
I heard.
I've
one of
never
the,
heard of that.
I actually. Well, I don't
That
have the
does not
picture.
surprise me.
No, one of the questions was what president stained Monica Lewinsky, and they had Reagan or Clinton or
Stained?
Stained her dress. Yes, that's what they
That's
called
kind
it.
of
I know.
It's like, what president left a loaded jizz on Monica Lewinsky? Come on today's show. You're better than
Rutherford
that.
B. Hayes.
Yeah,
That's
Rutherford B. Hayes. Who dropped a load on Eleanor Roosevelt?
oh my god.
Thanks, today's show.
Should we go to emails now or something?
I don't know.
Do we have any emails?
Yeah.
We have some
Yeah.
archived from.
We really have emails?
We have archived
I'm
emails.
weak
Oh.
from hunger.
We're going back in time.
Yes,
now-
just like the Terminator.
Now, after,
Maybe they'll remind us
after
what we were talking about.
After the heat kicked on,
Can
I'm
we
also
read the
dehydrated.
emails?
Yeah, I went ahead and put them in separate windows.
Copied
So
and pasted some.
let's see.
I can
don't have the reading
roughly
glasses.
I can roughly see it from here.
All right.
I don't have my reading glasses.
Okay, so somebody's going to have to.
This is from October 8th, 2014.
Now be careful, you break that off and the show's over.
That's true.
This is from Nicholas J. West, and the J is for Jagoff. Glad to see the band back together after your end of summer hiatus. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. You guys mentioned serial killers the last episode. Hitler. You guys mentioned serial killers the last episode and wondered if there are any actual serial killers out there. I know of at least one. ... It was killers. I didn't know we'd graduated. Moving on. Gotham. I'm still enjoying it. Yes, Gotham
Yes.
has gotten
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
better. I wasn't sure
It
about
really
this.
the corruption got so bad that it really got to the point where it was like,
Yeah.
he really should just quit. There's no
Yeah.
way out of this.
Right.
I didn't necessarily like the villain of the week. I like it that is everybody caught up in the
I
last
am.
episode that we've got someone who's escaped and it kind of goes over into new episodes. I like Donald Logue and Ben McKenzie as the leads. I'm surprised. I didn't think I'd like the guy who plays Commissioner Gordon. But Donald
Ben
Logue is
McKenzie.
good in anything you put him in.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
he's a show killer.
he's a show killer. Except for the show he was in with the
Grounded for
like
Life.
the sick, yeah,
Grounded for Life was on a
60
while.
years.
Yeah.
That wasn't even that. He's had better shows canceled after 3 episodes than that show.
His
The
daughter
Penguin,
killed
the
that
Penguin is great as well. Yes, the Penguin is the best villain. I could 100% do without Jada Pinkett, though. Her character is way over the top, even for a comic book show. Yes, I agree. You guys talked about what year it is in. I honestly have no flipping idea.
Oh, yeah, that's what we
They
were-
sometimes dress like they're in Mad Men with trench coats and hats, drive cars from the 80s,
But have cell phones.
don't have or use computers, but have modern flip cell phones and cordless handsets, and everything else looks like it's modern 21st
They
century.
do all have old cars, though.
But
I've
they don't.
mentioned
Yeah,
that.
they're all like
He
80s
says,
cars, but they don't
check
have
that.
smartphones. They
Yeah.
have flip
I
phones.
am currently
Yeah.
watching the latest episode as I'm writing this, and they have computer monitors on their desk. My guess is mid to late 90s.
That's
I am
fair.
currently... God! I spent more money on spilled liquor. Sorry. I had a little reaction there. I've got the croup. I told you I had a touch of it.
Because of Gotham.
I caught it from Aaron's knees. I am currently reading Ready Player One, which is freaking awesome.
Yes, it is.
I love that
That's
book.
going to be a movie, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to make that into a movie,
Oh, they've already got the
but
rights.
good luck. I would have thought more of a HBO show like Game of Thrones because people didn't think Game of Thrones could be made into a movie. It's like one giant 80s tribute mixed with a future dystopian world. Sam, have you read this book?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to
Yeah.
say, this is right up your alley.
I lent that
You
book.
read Ready Player One?
No.
Oh, I could
It's
lend you the
all-
book.
Oh, it's great.
It's a great book.
I don't have it.
When was
to lend
this
'cause
book-
it's on the
when did
Kindle.
this come
Yeah,
out?
A couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
2 or 3 years ago.
And this is about.
It's like the.
Is this fictional?
I know Lee has
Oh.
read
Yeah,
it.
it's
It'd be right
fictional.
up
It's set
Sam's
in the-
alley if he could read it. I heard they're trying to develop it into a movie, but I don't see how it'd be possible for them to license all the needed stuff. It's like the future, and it's all
Like if I wrote a
virtual
book about the
reality.
future and threw in all this 80s
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
A guy made some
Okay.
giant virtual reality world that people have essentially quit doing everything but doing the game. And he's like an old 80s child from the 80s, and he's died, and he's left like Easter eggs, and it's all like one of them. It's
It's like a big puzzle.
But one of them you have to go do a Dungeons and Dragons. Is it a Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, something like
game?
that.
What's the game that you have to play like video games against? It's. I know it sounds stupid that you could read about someone playing video games and it be exciting, but it is. So anyone who's a child of the 80s should read Ready Player One, especially if you're a big video game, arcade game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I saw Annabelle last week because a buddy wanted to see it. I don't know what that means.
Was that one of those?
Oh, was that movie about the doll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the. Oh shoot.
Yeah, it was like the
It was
sequel
the,
to The Conjuring.
The
He said-
Conjuring.
Yeah.
No, the prequel to the Conjuring.
He said, I watched The Conjuring the day before and
Yeah,
thought
The
that it was a
Conjuring's
great,
awesome.
creepy movie. This movie, however, was so effing boring. I was just pissed I spent $10 to see it.
$10.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a piece of shit this big since Chet at the end of Weird Science.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen Weird Science.
What?
Don't waste your time or money. Butthead. I'd love to hear some suggestions for scary movies from you guys, so fire away. I mean, remember, this was in October. Well, we didn't
Scared
do
me was
scary.
The Dentist.
The Conjuring.
We
Did you
didn't
ever
do
see that,
Scary
Corbin
Movie
Burnson?
Weekend.
Huh?
The Dentist.
No.
The
God, it
dentist,
was creepy. Yeah.
the dentist with
Yeah.
the guy off of L.A. Law.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Corbin Burnson.
I had braces. At
Give
the
us an
time,
email.
and- Oh,
Yeah, Corbin.
Burnson.
Was he?
That's
the
from
dentist?
what? That's from the 80s, right?
Well, then who was the
No.
other guy from
94.
L.A. Law?
Oh, okay.
Was he in Darkman? Was
No,
that Darkman?
Dr. Giggles.
That's right.
That's
Dr.
I can't
Giggles.
think of the actor's name.
Yeah, but he was also on L.A. Law.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
We didn't go to Scary Movie Weekend.
You did something. What did you do? Christmas
we did Christmas
movies?
movie marathon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Christmas movie weekend. So we get down there and we watch basically Christmas Vacation and 2/3 of Friday After Next. But we get down there and our cousin has got a gigantic cabinet full of the best bourbon on earth. We must have drank between us like thousands of dollars worth of booze. Now, if you were to go to a bar and say, "Give me some 15-year-old Pappy," we had
I saw it on
we
Instagram.
had
There were a lot of
10-year-old,
pictures
we
on
had
Instagram.
15, we had
Oh,
20.
he got-
I didn't even put it all up there. That was just what we had that
What
night.
you saw, but I put a picture of the
Oh,
cabinet.
the cabinet.
yeah.
And what you saw there was what that cabinet will hold. He now has another cabinet
Yeah.
for double bottles that he has,
Oh,
you know,
God.
Oh, wow.
for stuff he's drinking and stuff he wants to keep.
And I got turned on to Michter's Toasted Barrel. It is delicious. Unfortunately, I don't think you can find it anywhere. But anyway, and it's relatively cheap, just $50. But it is great. It is almost as close to as close to a Pappy Van Winkle taste as I found in a bourbon that's not Pappy Van Winkle.
Which is good.
Celebrities in Fall TV. This email. Also, October 8th, 2014. From Jerry, our good brother Jerry in Newfoundland, Canada. Newfoundland. Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Newfie.
Celebrities and fall TV. My definition. Oh, we almost got into this the other night. My definition of celebrity is pretty traditional. Someone who has gained fame for having exceptional talents. Musicians and actors of substance deserve all that the term celebrity brings. Well, then what? Well, then how do you explain frickin' the Match Game celebrities? Those are not musicians or actors with exceptional talent.
Hey, Charles Nelson Riley was on there, so
Okay. What else was Charles Nelson Riley known for other than being on game
they were
shows and two of the greatest episodes of the X-Files ever
Well,
filmed?
I mean,
He's
if
a
you
body
really want,
slam.
if you want to start getting down to it, what are Kardashians?
Exactly.
they're
Right.
not Charles Nelson.
You
They
got one
are
of them.
lucky.
One
One of them is
Famous for being famous.
One of them is famous for being a porn star, basically having a
Hey.
sex tape, and the other one is
Maybe
famous
a
because
reluctant- let's
she's
say
related
reluctant.
to the
Because
porn
she
star.
lo-
Yeah, let's say a reluctant porn star.
Yeah, but either way,
They died for Jennifer Lawrence's sins.
Having sex on camera, eating 5 pounds of hamburgers in various diners, drive-ins, or dives, or generally being vapid on reality TV does not a celebrity make. I say yes.
Yes, I
Those are our celebrities.
Save that email.
But you remember that show, The Surreal Life, that was on VH1?
Yes. I love that
You
shit.
call those celebrities, right?
Right.
no.
Yes.
Jordan Knight, Sally Jesse,
They-
Tammy
okay,
Faye.
they're-
You don't call a member of the New Kids on the Block or Vince Neil a celebrity?
They were. Their time has passed.
well,
They wouldn't have done that in 1990.
once you're a celebrity,
Only celebrities
You're
whose
kinda
time
in.
has passed
Like
do shows
Brigitte
like
Nelson. What do you call her?
that. Brigitte Nelson,
In Rocky
a celebrity.
4, she was a star on the rise.
Listen.
In Surreal Life, she was embarrassed.
If Charles frickin' Nelson Riley could have been doing actual work, don't you think he wouldn't have been on the Match Game?
Or
Was
Paul
Charles
Lynde.
Nelson Riley? Would you say Charles Nelson Riley, at his Match Game highest, was he a celebrity or not a celebrity because he's past his prime, whatever the hell his prime was, other than the Match Game?
I think the Match Game was I don't know, it was a different time. Maybe the Match
It
Game
was a different
maybe
time.
The Match
I'm
Game
not-
was
I'm
the
not
surreal
arguing
life
that.
of its day. Maybe I don't
I'm not
know.
arguing that, but the Match Game essentially was the reality TV of today.
Wasn't Richard Dawson on there?
Yes,
a lot?
Richard
Yeah.
Dawson,
Howard
Brett
Stern.
Murphy, or Brett Butler, or
Excellent.
whatever it was.
Howard Stern was on Hollywood Squares when he was just becoming a big name known to everyone in the mid '80s, and he said that was a show either your star is on the rise or it's falling.
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg.
But your star hasn't fallen. It's falling.
Right.
Your star is still just above the horizon. So
Yeah.
that's the Match Game. That's the surreal life.
let's stop discussing. Let's move on.
All
I've
right.
had enough of it. I hold this adage true. If my mom doesn't know who you aren't that famous. Jerry, I bet your mom knows who Kim Kardashian is.
Yeah.
As far as fall TV goes, let's get into fall TV. I'm stoked about the amount of comic book shows on TVs these days. I've stuck with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, we stuck with it too, and it got better.
Yeah.
And
I hope he mentions a
I never did
show that
watch
got
it.
canceled.
What?
It would be funny if he mentions a show that got canceled back in November.
Let's see.
October.
he hasn't yet.
Okay.
And think they found their footing after a shaky first season. I agree. Season 2 has been pretty good.
Although
I'm a big-
I want Ward to die.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big Arrow fan, and I'm looking forward to it as well as The Flash. The Flash was pretty good. The standout thus far is Gotham. This is just fantastic television. I'm a fairly huge nerd, physically.
Nurse.
and
Nurse.
figuratively.
He's a fairly huge nurse.
He may be. I don't know. I don't think he's a nurse. I think he's an office drone, just like the rest of us. But was never a big comic book reader, so I'm a satellite Batman fan. But damned if the Survivor is still good and John Rocker is still an ass.
Oh, that's way over.
I'm a satellite Batman fan, but damned if the Survivor is still good and John Rocker's still an ass. All is right in the world. I don't know how that sentence works.
Now, you know they're doing.
I'm a satellite Batman fan, but Survivor's still good. That's
a little weird.
I don't know.
Any more email?
Nope. That's it.
Oh.
But you know they're doing Daredevil on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Daredevil on Netflix.
Real quick, what was it? Discovery Channel, their new president, has said he's doing away with all the crap on there, and it's going back to
You mean like TLC? My husband's not gay.
that kind of
Did
stuff.
anyone
yeah.
watch that?
No, I've heard about it.
Oh boy.
Doesn't mean
like
it's
a
Let's
song.
take a poll.
Or
But anyway, he said they're moving away. He said it's not right.
My
for the
husband's
channel.
not gay. Are you a man? Yes. Well, maybe.
or what about the famous "Sex Sent Me to the ER"?
Oh dear God.
I've heard of it.
But is that,
That's the dumbest
That was a
show.
series?
Yes.
Yes, it's a
so you're
serious
saying-
show.
Wait a minute. Are
No,
we
no,
saying-
no. I mean, a series. It wasn't just one show.
No, it's a series of
I mean,
shows.
how many priapisms can you cover?
Are we talking like no more Fast and Loud? No more.
Is that Discovery Channel?
Yes, Discovery.
You're
No
talking.
more-
Are you talking about TLC? Is TLC? I guess is still a division of Discovery, or
It's
no?
Discovery.
TLC's like Honey Boo Boo and
Discovery.
trash.
Right.
It's
Oh,
like
they're
Discovery.
done.
Well, he can't cover everything, but on the Discovery Channel itself, whatever their fake
Well,
programming is, he said.
I don't think they have any fake programming.
Fast and
do
Loud's
they?
not necessarily fake.
And his Deadliest Catch. That's
Devil's
Discovery.
Catch is not- yeah, it's
No, I don't
Discovery.
think he
It's
meant
not-
that, and I'm not even sure what shows he meant. But
I'm not
it was the
sure.
president.
Oh,
president
you're
of-
It
probably
might have
talking
been a
about that,
TLC-ish thing.
during a Shark Week or something.
They
did
may
a big
cut back
show
on that.
About,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
About
know.
Oh, they're going to cut back on the
Megalodon
the
shark.
mockumentaries. that
right?
they're doing?
Yeah,
Mockumentary.
that.
Oh yeah, the guy that got eaten by the snake, but then didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trash.
That was the worst.
I'm so glad I did not watch that.
I mean, the thing about it was that they just went and found a anaconda.
Yeah.
Just one. Just whichever one they can get a hold of.
Uh-huh.
It's like, and you think that this one it was a big snake.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I mean, they had
That's
some,
what she said.
but it wasn't the man eaters that they talk about seeing, and the ones that you see that they find their tracks, and their tracks make them big
Yeah.
around as a 55-gallon drum,
Uh-huh.
and they were just like, well, we're just going to try to see if it wants to eat me, Oh, it was
That's
the
what
worst.
she said, or he said. I get confused.
Somebody said it.
That's how we should
But
close the show.
if you
That's
ever
what
get a
she said.
chance, you want to see a snake try to eat someone for realsies. Find Austin Stevens, Snake Master. I think it's.
I call him the snake bastard.
It's a great show
'Cause he's an
because
asshole.
he's like he pretends like he's a photographer
And he's a
and
dumbass.
he's chasing these animals. But the way they kind of halfway make the show, not only is he chasing the animal, but the animal's chasing him. But
I just pray one day one of these gigantic pythons bites him right.
But
in the
maybe
back.
that's why
no,
people
that's
say
what
he's
happened.
Irwin, man.
Do a search on YouTube for Austin Stevens, and I think it was a python.
Bit him right on the peenie.
If it hadn't that he was messing with it, and whenever it went to bite him, the top jaw got on his forearm, but one of the teeth in the bottom jaw caught on his pants. If it had got a hold of his arm,
It denuded
they
him?
would have cut that snake off of him. I mean, he was screwed. It was the biggest snake you've ever seen
So
on
that
TV.
was almost an eaten alive
Yes.
scenario.
In fact, I saw a
Is that
show.
a Judas Priest song?
I saw a show on Discovery Channel way back when we got a satellite, and there was like a regular Discovery and then a high definition one.
Yeah, and you have
and-
to watch porn through
yeah.
that weird wiggly color.
Scrambled porn.
Yeah, scrambled porn.
But the very first episode he went to shoot. In fact,
I think I saw Hooter.
the very first second of an episode, the very first segment, he was messing with a spitting cobra, and he had the sunglasses on and everything.
Well, I messed with them.
Well, whenever it struck at him one time, it actually lunged. Like, it didn't just strike and come back. It just
It
threw.
went all the way.
It actually threw its body forward and nicked the end of his finger, and blood spewed out of it like it nicked an artery, and he was so pissed off. He's like, it bit me, son of a bitch, it bit me. And he started cussing, and then all of a sudden there's like a 2-hour car ride because he's in God knows where
Yeah.
to some weird hospital where the crew knows more about medicine than the people that are at the hospital. So it was bad times, but it's great TV to watch.
No, it is not.
It really is.
It is not. Do not watch
You're an
the
idiot.
show. Do not listen to Dustin. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Go ahead and go back to watching your Survivor.
No, don't watch Survivor either.
Survivor.
That show. You talk about a show that's past its prime.
I'm still going to watch it.
It's Survivor.
Devin?
For Survivor, pick up the challenge, Battle of the Exes 2.
Oh, son. We
Because
watched that
not
last
only
night.
do you get to watch a bunch of horrible people interact with each other and compete with each other, this season you're watching a show where 2 of the cast members are dead.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
Two of them are dead. I
Yes.
knew.
Yes.
What
DM died
happened?
of
I knew
cancer,
she was dead, but
and
who's the other one?
dickhead a-hole Ryan died of like an OD or something.
Oh,
Good
right,
Lord.
right. I knew the other
He
one.
had an improper mixture between drugs, pills, and booze.
Yes.
In the middle of the season?
I think it was.
No, it was later on.
it was after it had already filmed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
what-
so they're still
So they're
showing
showing it
their-
now.
That's their legacy.
Oh, my
right?
God.
Essentially,
What did
it's
she
dedicated.
die?
Well,
Yes.
now Joan Rivers is going to. That's her last TV appearance on Celebrity Apprentice Monday. That's coming on. Yeah, because that started up again.
It's a little morbid.
That's weird.
It is. It's kind of weird, but as you're watching it, see, DM's not too bad. She has her moments, but not. It was Knight, not Ryan. It's not
Knight.
Ryan. It's Knight. He is. Oh, he is.
He looks like a
detestable
homeless
human being.
person now. He's got
Yeah, he
this
does.
really
he looks
long
bad.
hair.
He looks like. Yeah, I was not, after you see him, it's like, yeah, I'm not too surprised.
Do you remember Chris Farley near the end, where every time you saw him,
Big and bloated.
he just had a
long
perpetual
hair
coke sweat
and-
going,
yeah, coke sweat,
and
going.
you could just tell that he was still doing what he was supposed to be doing, but he was partying hard every
Yeah.
night.
That's kinda
That's
like
what
what
this
it
guy
looks
looks like.
But I'm not here to speak ill of the dead, even if he is a dead asshole.
Not
Ill
Chris
of the
Farley.
Dead. That would be a good.
Ill of the dead.
Ill of the dead. What would be ill of the dead? What's the premise for ill of the dead? I don't know.
Dead
that
be
is-
illin'.
No, you
Illin.
can give me a title, I can come up with something, but I'm starved to the point of starvation.
Okay.
See,
That's
I
a
can't
title.
Even, I
Now-
can't even form sentences.
Well, now the Star Wars trailer that came out since we've probably
episode
met.
7.
Really?
Star Wars. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a black dude in Star Wars.
Yeah, he was a
I
stormtrooper.
know.
Apparently, there was a bit of a kerfuffle on the internet about that.
He was
yeah.
a stormtrooper.
I couldn't
right?
tell if it was
Because-
Key or Peel.
Because
Sorry.
why? Because we saw a stormtrooper without his helmet, or because he was black?
Well,
I don't
if
know.
You,
I
if
never
you
really
know
looked
the
at-
Now,
the
Sam-
crappy trilogy, they're all Jango Fett clones. That's all the stormtroopers in the. So who are
I
stormtroopers in the?
know that Sam. I mean, he's got his issues, but Sam, ever once did you think that? Oh, there's a stormtrooper. I wonder if there's a black guy.
I kind of thought they were.
Spaceballs.
They look like robots to me. I guess I knew they were humans, but I didn't really think about
Well,
it.
Luke and Han took their helmets off.
Yeah.
But I still thought of them as
They climbed
faceless.
inside of a robot.
See, I think it's. I don't know. At one point, they
Should
were
we be talking about
clones and then be humans, just dressed as stormtroopers.
Should we
See,
be
that
talking
I
about
want to
this?
know
I
how
don't think we should
that
be talking
happened,
about
but I
this.
guess that's never going to be
We're
explained.
pulling it.
I hope to see a black stormtrooper, a woman stormtrooper, an Asian stormtrooper,
Would she have bumps on her?
a Hispanic, yes, a
Her
Hispanic,
humps.
and she'd have a real
Hey, there's
badass. Sorry,
there's some cosplay stormtroopers out there that are pretty good.
I'd like to see Nicki Minaj as a stormtrooper. Nicki Minaj.
I made the
Is she a
mistake.
thing
Watch
anymore?
Story.
I mean, she's
Yes, she's.
I
a
made
thing.
the mistake
She's
of-
got
TV.
some big things that she's going to be talking about on her new show on MTV coming up this Sunday.
I made the
Bonnaroo.
mistake of oh yeah, we'll mention just real
She's
quick.
at Bonnaroo.
no, she's.
I
Not.
made the mistake of following her on Instagram. It's every time somebody buys a copy of that album, there is a picture up of this new Pink Print album. Plus, there's little tiny video. I mean, some of them are funny, but and I like her, but I'm gonna have.
I
to
like her.
Drop out. But yeah, the Bonnaroo lineup was announced. We discussed this last year.
Yes.
I
Oh, I
believe.
forgot to look them up on
Oh
Spotify.
crap! It's like a bunch of bands and
Yeah, but
music
one of them
and-
was
Billy Joel,
Billy Joel's
Oh, who
headlining.
cares?
Mumford and Sons.
Who
Durr.
Billy Joel.
Wait a
Jesus,
minute.
he's
Wait
like
a minute.
The
You're
Beatles
going to
in
sit
one
here and talk about celebrities past their prime.
No.
Wow.
That Billy Joel is not past his prime.
If he still
You
has
may
his voice,
be
I will go see him.
Listen,
Sam?
Listen.
He doesn't make new albums. He
Have
knew
you
when to
heard
quit.
him lately?
He quit 21 years ago making albums.
Sam?
22. No, I haven't heard him. in the
Luckily,
last
he hasn't quit drinking.
10. Well, I saw him in concert 10 years ago.
He does not still have his voice.
Okay.
You're not going to hear 1970s Billy Joel when you go see him now.
We do
When you go
straight
see Billy
80s Joel.
now, when you go see Billy Joel now, you're going to see him because I've never seen him and I want to see him before he dies.
Okay, that's kind of what's put me off from concerts. I've kind of just accepted the fact that some people just
Slayer
don't
is
have it
going to be
anymore.
at Bonnaroo.
Sam?
What?
Slayer.
What?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
You and I.
Did you
What,
see
Bonnaroo?
Slayer
Yeah.
Save the Kitty in, what was it,
Yeah.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, I heard.
They found like a stray cat.
Oh,
They took it on board.
This
fed
is
it,
not
kept
this-
it
Did you
warm,
did
then-
you see the weird
Got rid of
the
it.
weird
Did they sacrifice it to say?
Did you see the weird Chechen dictator that is on Instagram?
Chechen?
He's like probably I'd
that-
say he's probably early 40s at the
Is
latest.
Chechnya a country? Chechnya?
He kind of looks like the one comedian, women are dumb guy. Looks just like him.
Women are dumb, guys.
Yeah.
That sounds like my favorite
Oh, do you
comedian,
know-
but I don't know who you're
Oh,
talking
the
about.
way he's got a beard.
He's got a beard. He's got a face. He wears clothes.
Anyway,
You know, he's got shoes on.
Anyway, we'll find him later.
He's got ears.
But he had a play date with his cat. Had a play date with Elizabeth Hurley's cat, and it shows him like getting selfies, and
Nuzzling.
things. It is the weirdest thing, and he apparently
Why is
posts.
Elizabeth Hurley hanging out with Chechen dictators?
I have no idea. Apparently, all he does is post stuff about how great Vladimir Putin is.
Well, we know about
he
that.
took a tiger selfie too. He was laying on a tiger and took his. But I mean, it's like
wow.
Damn, I've got to follow this guy on Instagram.
I can't
He's gotta be
remember
the
his name,
greatest.
but it was on Vox. I
Chechi
think,
Chechi?
or no, it was on The Verge. I think it was like 8 of his Instagram posts. No, I think it was Vox that shows just how just insane this guy is.
Vladimir Kozlov.
And he talked about how posting twice on Instagram every day was such a burden on him. He's like everyone else is just kind of doing it.
He's
Well,
got tigers to nuzzle.
to tell you how stupid he is, apparently he went somewhere where there was horse racing,
Yeah.
made huge bets on horse racing, and won, but because of sanctions on his country, he couldn't get any of his winnings.
Oh, that's
Because Chechnya is the women. Aren't they feuding with Putin? Aren't Chechens and Putin or Putin?
it's
I like the American
Ukraine
version.
that's feuding with Russia.
There's only about 5 bands that I knew that were going to be there. Tears
Florence
for Fears
and the
will
Machine.
be
Oh,
there.
Tears for Fears is going to be
That's because you
there.
quit listening to music in the 80s.
I know.
No new bands.
Mumford and Sons, I think, are going to be there.
They're
I don't
new.
care.
Why do you know them?
John Prine's
They
going to
were
be
in
at
Rolling
Romp.
Stone with
John
Hulk
Prine.
Hogan one time.
Big deal. Merle Haggard's just going to be 3 miles down the road.
I want to go to Bonnaroo this
He's
year.
an Okie from Muskogee.
Bonnaroo's
Ben
so
Folds.
expensive.
Yeah, it's a
Ben
few
Folds
hundred-
is going to be
Robert
there.
Plant.
I mean, it's
Robert Plant's going to
Yeah.
be there
And the
with his new
Sensational
band.
Spirit Squad. What are they called?
Shapeshifters. I
It's
think they
a-
were last
Shapeshifters.
year.
No, I'll tell you the band that I want to see. And I was going to
Dustin's
look them
tell
up.
you It's St. Anthony and the
No,
Broken Bones.
it's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Well, you've got me. I'm interested. Go on.
Granted, it
What
is
do
a
they
few
play?
$100 for what 3 or 4 days
Every day.
Here's the
in Manchester.
Yeah.
Here's the Chechen dictator. As soon as this webpage will load up,
Tickets go on sale.
Are we
Saturday.
talking about the Chechen dictator? I want to hear about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards.
his name is Ramzan Kadyrov.
Yes, Ramzan. I follow him.
Kat-a-rov.
We
I get
follow
it.
each
Kat.
other.
Hurrah.
He liked my
Ramzan?
picture of bourbon.
It's at KADYROV_95, and I'm following his ass as soon as I get a chance to look it up. I'm telling you.
I'm asleep.
Okay. King Gizzard and the
They
Lizard
didn't.
Wizard.
They didn't even release like the full thing because they did the Comedy Central thing. The Broad City chicks were there last year.
Really?
I'm so pissed.
At
At
Bonnaroo?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, they got a comedy tent.
I didn't see any names of comedians on the
Who's
poster.
Gizzard?
I think
Lizard,
that's
the Gizzard
that might be
Wizard. What
something
they
that's
play?
coming later.
I don't know. I haven't got a chance to look them up.
So you don't even know anything about them other than the
Their
name.
name.
But
yeah.
the
That's
name
all I
just-
need to know.
The name stands out. It's
gotta
just
be
too
good.
awesome.
You know, have you ever gone back in the olden days? Would I just buy CDs for the hell of it?
Bone Pony.
Well, that was one. We used to have a store called Electric Bunghole. You might know it as Electric Avenue.
Oh, Electric
Oh, yeah.
Avenue.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I've called it
I
Electric
still have a set of
Bunghole.
speakers.
Electric
Well,
Well,
Bunghole.
see, it was Electric
Didn't one of
Avenue.
your
Did a-
relations work there?
One of my relations? Did they? I don't know.
Your cousin?
I don't
No.
know.
think so.
I don't know who you're speaking of.
Your cousin's ex-girlfriend worked there.
I
I,
don't know.
think
I don't
she was a
remember.
manager. I swear to God, the one
Which
in
cousin are we
Owensboro.
talking about? You gotta narrow
Jared.
it down. I don't know. I don't remember past his
Okay,
current.
okay, but all right, go ahead.
Either
way.
Electric Avenue.
So Electric Bunghole, they're going out of business because who goes to Electric
They're
Avenue?
they're a division of Montgomery
Montgomery
Ward.
Ward is like so 1950s.
It's like so 18.
So they were selling like everything half price, and it was back
I
in
went
the
to that
time
sale.
of CDs, and it was like bare bones at that point. And I saw an album by a group called Bone Pony, and I thought, man, with a name like Bone Pony, these bastards.
And the album name was Stomp Revival.
And these bastards have got to rock.
I passed up that album because of the name.
They're
So-
good live.
I thought, man,
They
these
are.
guys are going to shred. So I buy the album, and it's like all acoustic, and like you're stomping your
Yeah,
feet.
but you bought it because it had a song called P.S.O.B. So it was PSOB,
And I thought it would. I thought it was pissed off son of a bitch
or Poor Son of a Bitch.
or poor son of a bitch.
It was, but it actually stood for a particular shade of blue.
So that's what really turned me off because it was a poor son of a bitch. And then there was that was a strike. If you like roots revival music, I guess you'll like that.
They've changed a lot since.
Are you
then.
wanting to sell it now?
I don't know where it is. And then
I took it.
one I gave away after buying was an album by a band called Stomp Box. I thought Stomp
heard that
Box.
name.
I
Oh,
thought that those guys will shred, and I think they did actually shred, but it was horrible music, so I gave it away. It was horrible.
I never bought
And
albums
then I
unless
talked
I
to
knew
Cousin-
damn well who they were.
Do what?
I never bought an album unless I was very familiar with the artist.
You've never lived.
well, you weren't at a
I never
college
bought a
radio
Bone Pony
station where
album.
no one heard of those things.
I've never seen The Ocean, but I have bought albums by people that just that name sounds cool.
I have to hear something catchy from them.
That album cover looks weird.
You've never seen the ocean.
Never seen The Ocean, but I have lived because I've bought CDs. Just I thought something was vibrating. That's what it is.
Jesus,
It was
it's almost
the
7
ocean.
o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, email us just shit at
Not literally.
Even though they sold that on Black Friday, somebody sold
Yeah,
what,
Cards
that horse
Against
crap?
Humanity.
Yeah, Cards Against Humanity.
we bought Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, what a place! We need
played
to play
it.
on the. We need
Son, it'll
Yes.
be super uncensored. And not only did I buy Cards Against Humanity, I've got 2 unopened expansion packs.
Oh,
that I
we've
bought.
got to do that on
I've
the
never even
air.
heard of this.
Sam,
Oh.
Sam will
Sam's never
like
heard
it
of it?
though.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is
How
awesome.
about
There's a video of the women from Downton
Yeah.
Abbey.
Oh
playing.
my God, it's great.
how about once football's done, we all get together on a Sunday afternoon. Maybe bring. I was going to say I don't want people to drink and drive home. I'll bring
A little bit of
libation.
Pappy.
And
Are you
I don't
nuts?
have any. Pappy.
You don't,
I don't
dole
know.
that
I don't
out
know.
for
After the
drinking
Super Bowl,
purposes.
there is a liquor store in the area giving away the opportunity to purchase a bottle of Pappy.
For a very reduced price.
Yes, for a very
Wow.
reasonable price. And if I get that, I'll crack it open, and we can all enjoy some Pappy. But we'll look into it.
I've only got one left in a bottle that I've got.
We'll look into it. So, Cards Against Humanity, we'll look into it.
Would we record this?
Yes.
Why
Yes.
not? Oh God, it would be
Record it.
awesome.
Yes, that
I'm
is
not sure
a,
it'll be funny, but maybe it will be.
Well,
it
like
is a-
I'll tell you one. Like
fantastic.
for instance, basically you pass out cards that are things.
Have you ever played Apples to Apples? That's what everybody tells us.
Sam
it's
doesn't
like.
play board games.
It's like
I have some board games.
They're like 80s board games.
It's like blank.
He's got
Good
like
to the last drop, and then you'll have a bunch of cards with just like words or phrases
sayings,
on them,
you know.
Yeah.
and it might be Barack Obama, and you'll turn that in, and they'll read it Barack Obama.
Good to the
Good
last
to the
drop.
last
I've
drop,
played something like that. It was called something else, though.
and you might have dead babies. Dead babies.
Yeah.
Good to the last drop. So that's
fantastic game.
So we'll look into that for later. Email us, grandschemes@channel1itv.com. I think
Yep.
that's...
And when we played that night, I was going to win, and I had the best card out there. And then Lee.
I don't remember.
Don't the
that
others
way.
vote on what was the best
No,
one or something like that? Or?
you vote. You just think
Whoever's
what
got-
you like.
Whoever
Right,
asked the
but-
question.
And the
Right.
reason
Whoever's got the black
it's
card.
funny is because the cards that you're going to hand in are horrible, and you're a horrible person for doing it.
Right.
And then the person gets to say, "I'm a horrible person. I think this is great."
Because
So.
there's only one black card,
That's right.
and you get 10 white cards.
See,
Racist.
this is going to be fun.
Yes. We've got to do this.
So we'll try that. Email us, because in the grand scheme of things,
Don't shit in your shirt.